Welcome to the Curt News Studio. I'm Taylor Sheridan, sitting here with music sensation Lainey Wilson and everything. Let's run through all the stuff you've won that I can't keep up with. Artist of the CMA Artist of the Year, CMT Artist of the Year, AMT, EMT Artist, all those, everything else. It's been a bit of a wild boat ride for both of us.
It has been wild.
You know, I started Yellowstone. The second season, we're filming the second season. I just shot the first episode of the second season.
Yep.
And I was cutting together this scene, and Andrea Von Forster, my music supervisor, said, "Do you know what song you want in that Bull in the Bar?" And I said, "No, I don't have any idea yet." And she goes, "Well, I've temped one in. You tell me what you think." And she temped it in, and I said, "Well, shit, let's just use that one. Why are we temping it? Let's just use it." And it was you. And then you come out, and a lot of people don't know this during COVID. I had my whole crew sequestered on this ranch in Montana going crazy. And I had asked Lainey, of course, everyone's shut down. No one can go anywhere. And I said, "Lainey, would you come out and entertain these damn people?"
And we did.
And she sure did.
We went in quarantine for like a week.
Yep.
And then came out, and I got to meet most of the cast and crew and became friends with some of them. And then one thing led to another. The first time I met you was the first year you were doing this.
We did. I asked you to come here, and your band played here. It's the first time we met. And and I had because it was the first year we'd done this. I said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the stage in the far end of the arena."
You said, "I want nobody to hear you."
And, well, no, what I figured would happen was everybody go run out in the arena and sit there and dance and yell.
Didn't nobody know who I was.
But what I didn't know was there was no way to access the arena. So Lainey's playing alone in a giant rodeo arena, and we're all inside a saloon.
That's not the first time, I promise you that. Oh, but yes, a lot has happened since then.
A whole lot.
A lot.
So you got an album coming out in a week.
We were working on this thing before Bell Bottom Country even came out, and
really,
yeah, it's been a labor of love. But I'll tell you, the name of the record is Whirlwind, because
that's what you've been on,
and that's what you've been on.
Yeah.
It's true. Just trying to keep one foot on the ground, and probably just like you, writing for me, it helps me keep one foot on the ground. It gives me that peace and comfort to keep on going. And during a time of my life that was constantly changing, I mean, every day I feel like we were just having to level up. And I think writing and recording this record, I got to hold on to what really just felt like me, you know?
Yeah, no, when I write, you know, I that's, and you do the same thing. That's a pretty lonely occupation, a good lonely, because you get to look at yourself and question the world or whatever you want to do. And the world stops. It's just you and your thoughts.
Which is scary.
Well, it can be if you could climb in this nugget. But yeah, it's where I find my peace is when I built a little one-room cabin on my ranch.
I love that.
And that's where I wrote. I intentionally did not put a bathroom in it. That way it can't turn into a guest house like my other one. Because that's what happens. Then people are just staying in their
they're like,
room.
"Oh,
So I said, I'm going to make this one so inhospitable. There's one chair and a day bed, and that's where I write.
Are you like, "Hey, this week I'm writing this day and this day," or is it just like when you feel like it?
No, it changes a little, but I write from noon to 4. So you can get up in the morning when it's not too hot and deal with all the horses and everything, and then have lunch, and then noon to 4 I write, and then by 4 o'clock I got to get on the phone and do all that stuff and do the business part of it, right? So that's my schedule. And then every now and then, you know, the one place where I can always write, strangely, is on an airplane, because your phone don't work.
That's right.
You know, no one can mess with you.
For me, I've been having to like carve out time on the road and bring out my co-writers who I enjoy writing with out there with me.
That's two different muscles, because the showman muscle is different than the think and feel muscle.
100%. It is. And I feel like for years, I mean, I've been in Nashville for 13 years now doing this, but I dedicated my life to just writing only. Like probably 6-7 days a week, and I write multiple times a day, just because I wanted to learn and grow. I wanted to be the worst writer in the room, and I would probably consider myself a songwriter before I consider myself an artist, but now I'm learning that there are a million different parts of this job.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm learning how to be a businesswoman, too.
Well, if you don't, someone's going to come along and be your business person, and you don't want that.
Yeah. I wrote my first song at 9 years old, and I thought, man, I'm just going to be able to sing and, you know, and write songs for a living, and that's it. But I'll tell you what, the 80% of like the business part of all of this makes the 90 minutes that I get to play my show on stage 100% worth it.
The first time I saw you play to a large audience was at Stagecoach.
Yep.
Where I don't know if you asked me to do it or someone else asked me to do it, but I had the great privilege of introducing you.
Yeah.
And I learned I don't have the moral compass for that kind of attention. That many people cheering me, I said I could like this.
And they didn't tell me they were live streaming at 100 million people were watching.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that until afterwards, and I thought it's probably a good thing I didn't know.
Oh yeah, well it's a real good thing I didn't know because I think I was cussing and you told me to get them worked up, so I was screaming and yelling and stupid shit. Oh great, 100 million, that's awesome.
Yeah. That was crazy. That was one of the first moments for me where I thought, man, like the dots are really starting to connect.
Well, I just remember watching you, and it's not like you just go up there and stand in front of the microphone and sing a little. You're giving your soul. And I watched you and I said, how's she gonna do that for 90 minutes? How's she gonna give up that much energy for 90 minutes? And now that you tell me you write on the road, I don't know how you give up that much of yourself and then sit down and have the ability to think of anything.
At this point, I'm a professional compartmentalizer.
There you go.
I got all these little bubbles up in my mind, and I think you got to be a little bit crazy to do what me and you both do.
It helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit insane, but it keeps you on your toes, and it's fun, and I don't know how to do anything else.
Well, I don't know how to do anything else.
Well, it's working out. It's working okay for you.
It's all right. It's working
and I
okay.
will tell you, and for everybody watching this too, I got this man right here to thank for a lot, but what being on Yellowstone has done for me is there's so many people who are on country radio that people might know their music or their song or whatever it is, but they don't know their face. And the opportunity you gave me is it finally just connected those dots and it put a face to a name. And I think when you have like something like that happen, there's no stopping it at that point. And we're still on
the freight
stride.
train has left the station for sure.
Yeah.
And now you're going to probably go be a movie star on top of everything else.
Well, we'll see what happens, but I'd like to. I never in a million years did I think I'd be acting.
Well, every singer can act.
You told me that on the phone that night when you called and told me you had a role for me.
Yep. It's actually easier because you don't have to rhyme the words in my brain.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying too, because I mean, there's nights when I might not be feeling good or like something personal has happened, and you still just got to get up there and do your job.
Lose yourself in the words. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's the same. The way that you can change the meaning of a verse in a song by the syllable you stress is the same thing in acting, right? So
I love that.
Change the stress of this syllable and this word, and I just change the meaning of the whole sentence. I've met plenty of actors who were bad singers. I've never met a singer who was a bad actor.
I love that.
Not once.
I love that. So that's why.
Even old Bingham can act, my God.
Yeah, I know. Dang it. Look at him. But I've noticed like how you give artists opportunities like that, and it's just got to go back to that thought. I don't know if a lot of people have just never thought about it, or if you just see something in an artist that other people don't.
I think my business is not the business to look at for any sort of originality. There's a guy that said to me once that you could fill a thimble with the heart of a movie executive and have room left over for his imagination. So I just bet on artists, right? I just bet on storytellers and artists and turn them loose. Gil Birmingham once complained, him and Danny Houston, there's a scene in season 1 where they're playing golf. They're standing there and they said, well, what are we doing? I said, well, it says in the script you're playing golf. Okay, well, what's my block? I said, what's your blocking? Play golf. Here's a ball, and here's the 2 sticks, and hit the son of a bitch. So you're not going to direct us? I'm like, if you can't do that, they said, I don't know how to hit the ball. I said, you don't even need the ball. I'll invent the ball. Yeah. I'll paint the ball in there. Just pretend. Do what you do. And then they did. So
next time we work together, please, Lord, don't try to make me hit a golf ball.
No, you're not. No. Next time we work together, you're going to be in a very comfortable setting. I'm not going to give nothing away, but it's a large venue in North Texas. That's probably, I've seen a lot of concerts there. I'm sure it's a real fun place to play.
Oh my gosh, it's iconic.
I'm not going to say the name because I'm not going to give nothing away.
That's right.
Yeah, but old Abby is coming back for all you Yellowstone fans.
When you
That's all I'm
called me
saying.
that night, I was in Nashville, and you texted me and you said, I got an idea. And I was like, oh Lord, what does this mean? And you said, I'll call you in a minute. And then you called and said, I want to create a character for you. And you said, I want you to go by a different name, because there might be some things that I did or said that, what is it? Is it the third wall? Is that what it is?
Fourth wall.
The fourth wall. You didn't want me to like break that, right?
Well, we
we
break it all the time on Yellowstone, but we have an agreement with the audience. It makes no sense.
Yep.
Nothing about Yellowstone has ever worked in any other show, and the fact that it does makes no sense. So you're world famous, and you're Lainey Wilson, and yet you're going to sit there on a fence, and we're going to pretend like you're a struggling artist named Abby singing the very songs that made Lainey Wilson famous, and everyone's going to buy it, just like they buy that Ryan Bingham singing the very song that he won an Academy Award for. He just wrote there by the campfire, and everyone buys it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they buy it. I don't question it. But I've also learned the weird rules, right? If we had said, oh, it's Lainey Wilson on the ranch, then everyone would have gone, oh.
Yeah.
But because we're all going to play like, no, that's not Lainey.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is Abby. She's trying real hard to be Lainey, but that's not Lainey. And
It is so strange.
Yeah.
It is. It's so much fun though. But when you called me, my dog took off to the road, and I was running, chasing after my dog, trying to make sure it didn't get hit.
That.
And I was like, "Hold up, I'm diving in the ditch," trying to catch my dog.
I wasn't sure if that was like a Louisiana term for something.
Oh no! I was really
ditch.
chasing after her. I was really chasing after her, but.
What's next for you? Because people all over the country are going to watch this. So where can they see you in the next couple months?
Well, this year we've already toured Australia, UK, Europe. We started our headlining tour in May, and we're going to be pretty much in every corner of America this year. And we end the year back here in Vegas.
I was going to say, you're back here at the NFR, aren't you?
For NFR, which has kind of become like a tradition. I mean, this is like, especially during NFR week, I feel like I'm at home in Vegas.
Well, that's because they let all these cowboy hats take it over.
I know. It's like country don't come to town.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just become our thing as a crew. We've done it for the past, 4 or 5 years. So a great way to end the year. But next year we're going to be back on the road. I don't see us slowing down anytime soon.
Why?
Yep.
Ain't no reason.
I know.
That's why I keep it. Says, why do you work so hard? Because at some point people are going to realize I'm just not that interesting. So until that happens,
100%.
I'm going to take everything
I'm just like,
I can
I've
take.
done tricked a lot of people. It's pretty cool.
Well, Lainey, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
We
you,
can't
Trent.
wait to hear you sing later, and we hope you really enjoy this
Thank you.
crazy cowboy deal we're doing.
Oh, you know I will. Thank you.
Lainey Wilson, everybody.